Chiruki Sool. This set of techniques teaches a student about distance and timing. It is best done and practiced with partners of different sizes so that you can get used to how to time evading or sidestepping an attack with someone who is smaller or larger or faster or slower or whatever. So practice this set of techniques with a variety of partners for best results. Chiruki Sool number 1. We start off in chariot position and go to Junbi. Now, I realize that this is a rather basic stance to be in, and nothing like this is going to happen on the street. Nobody's going to stand there for you like this. Well, you know what? It's not a problem. We're not practicing for the street with this particular technique. We're practicing for the street with this particular idea. Okay? So don't look at the techniques as being useful for combat. Look at the principles for being useful in combat. In other words, if you practice 2 and 2 makes 4, that has little use. But if you know 2 and 2 makes 4, it is easy to make change when you go to buy some loaf of bread or something like that. So the principle of adding and subtracting is what is useful in everyday life. The principles of martial arts that we do in these techniques are useful for everyday life, not the technique itself. Okay? So from this position, which is a prearranged set of steps that we follow to make it a little easier to learn, I'm going to step to my left as the punch comes in. Punch comes in, he punches for my upper lip, okay? I now sidestep this technique, and I sidestep it while I'm covering that arm of his. I'm also twisting my body a little bit so that I can use hip motion to make a first strike. 1, and I've twisted back now, make a second strike, 2. Immediately after that, I need to cover that arm. I'm covering this arm by making my arm up and down like this. His arm is level, horizontal. I need to make my arm as close to vertical as possible in order to intercept his arm. Now I'm going to circle underneath and over top. Now notice that as I slid down the arm, I stopped when his arm widened out into his hand. So sliding down, keeping touch with my finger and my thumb, the arm is thicker here, is thinner here, I kept in touch with that until it got wider again. Now that gives me the opportunity to know that I'm right at his wrist. Now I bend the wrist to get into wrist lock. Okay? I'm taking my right leg and I'm going to hit his shoulder with my hand with a pseudo. I'm going to swing my right leg up and back so that I'm here again. I do not step here and push because that is going to be a disaster for me, not for him. So I'm going to take him down, holding on to this hand here, okay, like so. Now notice that I kind of pulled on this hand in order to make his body, while it is in the air and has no friction, to make his body fall right close to me. I don't want to go chase him. I need him right there where I can deal with him. Now, notice that the hand is straight here. As soon as he has fallen, I'm going to bend this back down into a joint block. And notice what I'm doing. He is lying up against my leg. I'm going to push my leg forward and I'm going to pull the arm back. Now notice that is discomfort for him because I have now got an elbow lock alongside of a wrist lock. So if nothing else were to be available for me to go on beyond this like we will in a minute, I am now already in control. Okay? My right leg is back for a possible strike. So in a sense, the technique could be finished here. However, I'm going to add some more components to this technique by sliding my right leg to the left, transferring the hand from my left to my right. And now notice his arm is vertical and my legs are vertical. What I need to do in order to execute an arm bar is to make that close to a 90-degree angle. Okay? As soon as I have a 90-degree angle and my leg, my right knee, is right at his elbow, I can adjust this by moving this, okay, one way or the other. Okay? I can't move him. He's lying down, has friction with the ground. I can't move him, but I can move myself until I'm in the position where this is going to damage. Now I'm going to pull with my right hand back to execute an arm bar and roll him over. You see, I don't like it when he lies on his back because this could be the result of that if I'm not careful. With him rolled over on his stomach, he can't kick me anymore. Okay? So I'm going to do this quick. Now notice that I still have this wrist lock, but also notice that I have now got an opportunity to strike to his floating rib with my left knee, like so. Now notice that I am going to move my right leg behind his elbow and now pull and push at the same time. So I have a perfect striking position here and I have a lock. Chiruki Sool number 1.